In this recording, we will look at linear graphs, specifically horizontal lines and vertical lines. A linear graph is a straight line graph. You might be asked to find the equation of a linear graph, so the equation of a straight line. So what is the equation of this straight line? Now, if you look at all the coordinates on this line, for example, 4, 2, 3, 2, I'll choose one over here, minus 1, 2. You should notice that all the y coordinates are 2. This is the x coordinate, this is y coordinate, all the y coordinates are 2. How do we describe this line? Y is always 2, so y is equal to 2. So if we had a linear graph like this, the equation of this line would be y equals negative 3. Okay, what about a vertical line? This time, if you looked at coordinates along this line, you would notice that the x coordinate is always minus 3. So the equation of the line would be x is equal to negative 3. Okay, we've got a couple of questions here. So for question 1, we have 3 straight lines. Can you write down the equation of the lines for question 1 and question 2? Put me on pause, unpause when you're done to see if they're correct. So if this first one is y equals 2. Now, a lot of people get this one wrong. It's actually y equals 0. If you look at all the coordinates on this line, 4, 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, y is always 0. And then y is negative 4. And for question 2, A, x is equal to negative 2. B, x is equal to negative 1. And for C, x is equal to 0. Now, can you find the equation for all 6 graphs? Can you find the equation of the lines? Put me on pause and pause when you're done. This first one is x is equal to 1. Y is equal to 1. X is negative 3. Y is equal to minus 1. Be careful with this one. X is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0. In this recording, we will look at how to find the equation of a straight line. So, for example, you'll be given a straight line, something similar to this, and you'll be asked to find the equation of the line. These are linear equations, linear graphs, because they are straight line. Now, to find the equation of a straight line, it's always in the form y equals mx plus c. M is your gradient, which tells you how steep the graph is. And C is the y-intercept, which is where your graph crosses the y-axis. And then once you've found those two things, your answer would look something along the lines of this, y equals 3x minus 2. And that equation gives you the relationship between the variables x and y. Okay, so let's look at this. So the gradient, how steep the straight line is. So I'm going to draw a triangle under my graph. I try and always start from the y-intercept. So look at where the graph is crossing your y-axis and I start from there. So for every 1 across, we're going 2 up. So once you've drawn your triangle, and your triangle needs to be made of complete squares. So complete square, complete square, complete square. It has a height of 2 and a base of 1. So the gradient is 2 divided by 1, which is 2. Your y-intercept, well, where does this graph cross your y-axis? Here's your y-axis, it crosses it at 1. So we replace y equals mx plus c, we replace the m for the gradient and c for the y-intercept. So the equation of this line is y equals 2x plus 1. Okay, let's have a look at a few more examples because you've got to be wary of a few things with these questions. So this first one is a straightforward one. Now, I can explain what I mean by complete squares here. So let's say you decided to draw it from here and across. Well, that's only part of a square. So let's go and find where it crosses our y-axis. It's here. So I'm going to go like this and like this to get my triangle. Got one square here, 1, 2, 3 here. So the gradient is height divided by base, 3 divided by 1, which is 3. Your y-intercept is 2. So the equation of the line is y equals 3x plus 2. Now, if you notice, for the second question, it's sloping downhill. If it's sloping downhill, so from left to right, it's going down, we have a negative gradient. We find the gradient in the same way, it's just we stick a minus in front. So let's again draw my triangle. Where does it cross your y-axis? -1. This time, there we go. We've got 1 square, 2 squares. So don't forget, it's going to have a minus in front because it's sloping downhill. And then 2 divided by 1, which is 2. So the answer is -2. Your y-intercept is -1 because that's where it's crossing your y-axis here. So the equation of the line is y equals -2x minus 1. Another thing you've got to be wary of is the scale. So if you notice on these previous questions, on your x and y axis, every one square is just 1 unit. If you look at this, it's a bit different, isn't it? Because you've got like 2 full squares makes 1 unit. So you've got to always look at your units, really, your scale on your graph. Let's draw the triangle, and it's sloping downhill again. So I know it's a negative gradient. So I'm going to go across because I want to make 1 full unit, and down here. So here, although it's 2 squares represents 1, so I want 1 there. And then here, okay, well that's all right. Each 1 full square is 1 unit, so we've got from 16 to 12, which is 4. So your gradient is negative because it's sloping downhill. 4 divided by 1 is 4, so it's -4. And your y-intercept is 16, because that's where it's crossing the y-axis. So your equation of the line is y equals -4x plus 16. So I've got 12 questions in total for you to have a look at, for you to practice. So on each page, I would suggest put me on pause, have a go at the questions and pause when you're done. Okay, so for this first one, my gradient. So I'm going to start here. 3 and 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3. Your y-intercept is 4, which is what's C, isn't it? So C is 4. So the equation of the line is y equals 3x plus 4. Question 2. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So your gradient is 2. Your y-intercept is 5. Y equals 2x plus 5. One divided by 1 is 1. Your y-intercept is 0. So the equation of the line is y equals 1x plus 0, which is just the same as y equals x. You've got 3, 1. Your gradient is 3 divided by 1, which is 3. Your y-intercept is -1. So the equation of your line, 3x minus 1. Gradient, 1, 1. Y-intercept, 6. So the equation of your line, y equals 1x plus 6. Oh no. Hopefully you notice this, it's sloping downhill, so it should be minus here. So minus x or minus 1x. Same with question 6. Sloping downhill. So y equals minus 3x plus 2. Scale, hopefully you've noticed here. 2 squares is 1. So this 2 squares is 1 unit. And we've got 4 here. The gradient is 4 divided by 1, which is 4. Your y-intercept is -4. So y is equal to 4x minus 4. Sloping downhill. 1, 1. The gradient is -1 over 1, -1. The y-intercept is 3. So the equation is y equals minus x plus 3. 3, 1. And your gradient is 3. Your y-intercept is 0. So the equation of your line is y equals 3x plus 0. So y equals 3x. And last 3 questions. So you've got 1 here going up in 2s. So from 2 to 6, 4. So your gradient is 4 over 1. Your y-intercept is 2. So your equation is y equals 4x plus 2. Sloping downhill, negative gradient. 2, 2. The gradient is minus 2 over 2, which is -1. So your equation is y equals minus x minus 6. And your last question here. Your gradient is -6 over 1, which is -6. Your y-intercept is 0, so y equals -6x.